I want to show you how I'd introduce named handling to a dog. So this is me doing it with my dog Buffy. She already knows this, so I'm just taking it back to basics briefly. So I start by saying the place I'm going to touch, and I'm going to start with somewhere really neutral like the chest or the neck. Start with somewhere that your dog doesn't mind being touched anyway. So I give the verbal warning chest to let her know where I'm going to touch her, and then I reach towards her very gradually. The first few times I'm not even touching her, I'm just putting my hand towards her. If she were to pull back or pull away at any point, I would go back to an easier level, so just presenting my hand to her without even pushing it towards her. Because she already knows this, I'm speeding through a little bit, so now I've moved on to a more uncomfortable area, which is her ear. So I start by saying ear, then reaching towards her ear and rewarding her for not reacting. There are a couple of times where she very slightly pulls away from me, and I take that as a no, and so I let her know that I've acknowledged that, and I say okay and give her a treat anyway. I always reward dogs even when they say no, to let them know that I appreciate when they communicate with me. When she does say no, I just go back to an easier level. I'm now going to introduce the brush, which means I'm going to go back to basics again. So I'm saying ear, but just reaching towards it, not actually touching her ear. The addition of the brush is a distraction, so we're going to make everything else easier so that we can add in this distraction. If you have a dog that has a phobia of brushes, I would introduce the brush separately to doing this behaviour, then pair them together. So my end goal here is that I'm going to brush her ear, but I'm going to take it really slowly, and if she's not in the mood today, we'll try again tomorrow. Despite her offering her consent, you can see that her body language is a bit uncomfortable, so I'm going to move on to a different method. I really like using chin as a consent test, and you can see how much quicker the progress is when we use chin rather than just waiting until she's ready to look at me. I ask her for a chin, then I let her know I'm going to touch her ear, and she lets me lift it up. Can you see how much quicker the progress is from using chin compared to the previous method? Every dog is different, so see what works best for your dog. If I wanted to then brush her ear in this chin rest, what I would do is teach her to chin rest onto my leg, for example, and then lift up her ear and brush with the other hand.